If merchant cash advances are weighing you down and it's tying up your available cash flow, if you're taking on more MCAs to pay for the last and more positions, if all of your cash flow is restricted due to your current debt, personal bills are amounting due to not being able to take a salary, falling behind on payments, even if you're current, but feel like you're going to face a default or a bankruptcy if you don't get this under control, then this will be the best solution. Hi, welcome in. My name is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. I'm a business funding expert, a business loan broker expert, as well as pre-underwriter/underwriter. And I've been through the MCAs. I understand how difficult those things can be. Perhaps your business isn't as stable as it once used to be, couldn't pay it off quicker, the revenue isn't as producing as it once was. Or for many other reasons, you're looking at your investment, financial, operational, free cash flow, profitability, and so much more. The best way to handle this is with a debt restructuring, with a specialty law firm, attorney-led debt restructuring team, the very best with many years of experience that can precisely take care of your situation and battle on your behalf to help you have more affordable, lowered payments. And negotiate all of this on your behalf. I'll leave more information down below in the description so you can watch a full presentation of me on screen. You can go to a page and check this out. Underneath it, you'll get supplemental material and a place to get started. And so you can get the very best and lower payments by average 50 to 75% or 40 to 75%. And there are more details, as in the qualifications, the requirements. I'll try to cover a little bit of that right now, but I want to segment into what about a new loan to cover your current MCA or MCAs? It's not that easy. Getting a new one, if you have multiple, you understand they usually don't give you more than the last one. Or how much have you paid the last one before you go get a new one, so they can help you get more. But that doesn't solve your cash flow problems, especially if you're going through a hard time right now in your business and trying to get rid of these. You have these daily and weekly payments that you never wanted, but you know you had to get if you wanted to grow and expand your business. And this was the only way, due to your credit, due to revenue, due to time in business, due to the industry, due to many other factors that perhaps you didn't have to get a bank term loan, an online bank term loan, an online bank line of credit, an SBA loan, credit-backed funding through 0% interest business credit cards, or on the personal side, or a personal loan. And there's other ones, perhaps a cash out refinance to use with commercial property or investment real estate that you own, and free and clear that you can use, get equity to pay off the positions. There's many other angles to look at this, but a debt restructuring company or a settlement is the way to go for the majority. And I have the very best when it comes to this in these options. And again, I'll leave more information down below, but trying to get a new loan, one, it can't always solve everything. It's not always replacing your current profitability, current cash flow issues. It just will only mask it for some time, the symptoms. And if you can't consolidate into a new loan, can't refinance, you keep having to lower your MCA payments, thinking that it's a debt restructure when it isn't that. They're just helping you lower your threshold. That's not always a good sign for whatever reason you had. And if you didn't lower your current MCA payments, that's another thing. Not like you have to all the time before you go do a restructure. You don't have to do that. Getting rid of that as quick as you can and lowering your payments is the way to go. To get a bank loan, if that's what your thought is, or an SBA loan, you might already have some reasons why you were declined if you tried, or if you haven't. But you have to meet the demands of a 680 FICO, score 2, usually is what they look at, with a few others in mind. Sometimes 620 with other compensating factors. You have to look at non-sufficient funds, negative days, how many, why, stability of cash flow, profitability, business credit. If it's not collateral on a bank term loan, UCC lien, blanket lien, not fully collateralized. You go to an SBA, they're going to normally ask for collateral unless it's underneath 500 up to 350K, if not under that. And there are more things you have to meet. It's demanding the paperwork. If you have multiple business owners, we have to account for that. And there's more that I can share with you in time, but it's not as easy as consolidating so much debt that these bank term loan lenders don't want to give you new debt because you don't have enough to service the existing because of your cash flow. Your debt service coverage ratio is at a 1.15 and above, 1.25, 1.5. There's a lot more. Global, business, and personal. Business. Even if you meet that, is there enough profitability? Is there enough business credit built under the business? And there are more things to look at, not just that. I'm not going to get into all in detail. I can share that with you over time. And again, down below in the description, if you click the link, should be the first one or so, it'll take you over to a page that then takes you to a presentation page or directly to the presentation page. Or again, I go on screen with you and I walk you through this. I'll even give you a document right underneath it. You can pick up everything that's up to date, check that out, hold it for yourself. And there's a form you can fill out to get in touch. And I actually have it, if I don't get to it right now, but I'm trying to see if I have it here for quick access. But on my screen, give me 1 second. So this way I can show you precisely like what the fields are that you'll see. So you'll have your name, your best email, your phone number, mobile preferred. I don't bombard anybody. I don't pressure you. It's just to follow up. Hey, I sent you an email. I'm very nice. One thing you'll learn from me is I'm very introverted, very analytical, cerebral. It's hard for me to be on video. I'm a better writer. I'm like a back-end partner in a business. I like the math. I like the systems. I create things. I'm not the most creative, but I understand. I've built other businesses online. Digital marketing agency, lead generation business, a subset, health affiliate marketing, other affiliate marketing ventures, other businesses. And then now for many years in the finance funding space, credit, cash flow, collateral, liquidity, equity. And so it's not easily replaceable by a new loan consolidation, a reverse debt consolidation. You have to be careful with those because the new debt that you're added that you have to fulfill, it can be a lot heavier by the time you clear the other ones and then who you're owing and the lender. Whether you can or can't make it, now you're going to suck up other cash flow and those payments are going to be high. So you have to be careful of that. And there's more to it. There's other formats too, a reorganization of assets, folding, and then the assets coming back. There's a few other things. And other providers you have to be careful of. It's not right to always do it that way. Maybe you're facing a bankruptcy sooner than later and it makes more sense. But a lot of the times those don't. And then you're also looking at those that are not compliant. So you have to be careful with the restructuring company or who's working on behalf of them because they might not be following correct laws. They might not be doing it where instead they shouldn't be calling people out of the blue because they're on a do not call. Like you don't want to associate yourself with those companies and other ones that are not effective. They're more defective. So what it takes to qualify to restructure and lower these payments by 50 to 75%, 40 to 75% on average monthly, and there's a few more other things, is you want to have at least $30,000 in minimum merchant cash advance debt or MCA-like debt, factoring, like think Blue Vine, Fundbox. Think about a few of like the MCA-like scenarios. So 30,000 minimum is what you're going to see a lot of the time because it needs to make sense what to do, maturity, the amount to go in battle for you. There's a lot of stuff to look at for it to make sense, ROI, everything. And if you have any other kind of business debt, you need to have a minimum of $1 million total. Yeah, that's a high, steeper road, but that's just how it is. And other debt to consider outside of MCAs and MCA like that. You don't need to have a specific credit score. You're not getting a new loan. This is not collateralized. In most cases, it does not affect credit, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. And so the 30,000, the credit, a few things, and that's kind of the gist of what you should know. And again, I'm going to cover more information in the video that I have on mind, but I want to make sure you get more out of it in that video, and you'll get a document again to walk away from that you can see even some examples, even some scenarios. The term duration. Sometimes you see 6 months. Other times you see 1.5 years. Sometimes 36 to 48 months. Maybe 3 to 4, 3 to 5. Although those don't happen too much. And so expect something like that. And that's common to see. So when you're trying to restructure your debt, and what I'll present to you is an income projection plan, a debt restructuring schedule, and an application for debt restructuring that I'll review myself very thoroughly, look at the numbers, and then also go over this with the team. And everything can be done quickly and smoothly. And once that is all submitted and reviewed, if it looks good and ready to move to the next step, then I can schedule you an appointment with one of our principals. And with this person, you'll just go over things, a few things to chatter about, your scenario, that schedule, this, that. And then from that, things look good and clean enough, then you'll be set up with a payment analyst. And I know a lot of this that's happening on the back end, just so you know. And they'll go over things, the contract, everything that you need, and to go over, more so to put together a custom tailored debt restructuring plan for you and your needs. That's what the payment analyst will do. Go over your exact situation, because each person has a different scenario and what you plan to do. What's your plan? If you have processors involved, don't start going out there and changing your processors. Like you're going through Shopify, you want to move everything over to like maybe a ClickFunnels and all of this stuff before you've gone over this with the payment analyst. They'll give you a lot more. And again, I'm familiar with this and I know their process and everything and what they're looking at. And I'm on the back end going through things. So the contract and everything there that will be laid out, very safe and secure for you to sign and complete, date, etc. And then we go from there. So everything can be done within that 24 to 48 hour frame. 48, 72 hour frame. It just depends on how quickly you would like to move. Somebody who gets the documents and they take 2 years, 2 months, 2 weeks, and your expectation was to get it done in the next 1 to 2 weeks. But what happened? Something comes up, I get it. Was it not on the top of your priority? And so, like myself, I want to take care of you, and I put people over profits first. And I've been doing this as a passion for a while. I happen to excel in it now. Been doing it for many years. And I've been in your shoes from startup to non-startup, running multiple businesses, understanding ROI, the cash flow, break-even points, lifetime gross profit value, average order value, all of these things and more numbers and more metrics. And I keep track of my finances very well. I'm very organized, punctual, disciplined, an entrepreneur. And I care about who you are. Your health, your relationships matter to me. Making sure you're not stressing out about not only your payments, but this affecting other areas of your life, family. You want to take more time off, go to vacation, kick your feet up into the sand, or if you like going to a cold place, or wherever it is, hiking the mountains, up into the snow, but kicking your feet up into the sand with your cool adult beverage next to you on your side. Maybe you have 2 next to you. Your shades on. No worry. Just the heat coming in, feeling stress-free and relaxed. You don't have to continuously check in your business, look at your phone, be that person doing this. That's not what you were there for. You don't want to do that. This can help you alleviate that pain of continuing to take out another MCA and find a different plan. If it's the credit that needs help, but we're doing the debt restructuring to help you, well, let's also work on bettering your credits, and then you can get ready for a bank loan. Or if you're already there, or if somebody's holding you back, let's get the partners together. Or let's work on it this way for this scenario. Now you're actually rebuilding and not going through all this pain again of having to take another MCA. And if you ever decide to take another one, you find yourself in a position where you can handle it more effectively and you're more smart about how you do it. And so a lot of this, there's that. And again, I'm just a very loyal person, integrity a lot, very simple, not materialistic. My family would say very humble, caring. I'm a Libra, and so one of my weaknesses I tell you is that can care too much. It could be good, it could be bad at times. But I just wanted to be real with you, unlike a lot of others who are very transactional, where I'm not, and you question them, and I completely get you. I've been there before, and I wouldn't want to work with somebody who's just solely transactional and they get somebody as a person, somebody that has their core values, vision, and mission in life. I've worked on myself for many years in personal development. No guru, but I've worked on myself, my mindset, this even more. I was once an academic in chemical engineering, and then I got into business. Chemistry is my favorite class. Speak about it like it's the present tense. I wanted to start a business, that's why I went in that direction. I was a Division I soccer player for a bit, did more. Never been genetically gifted, but I used this and this to my strength. Where most people were athletically built, or if they weren't, I was using this and this, thinking steps ahead, analyzing the game differently, playing the game differently, and in different scenarios, and that's translated to me online. And I've been called upon in a service that it goes far beyond funding, it goes far beyond just restructuring your debt, it goes into who you are and valuing you for you. And characteristic traits, personality traits, that matters a lot to me. So that's what I wanted to leave you with. I know there's more information that I can go over, but time in business on this form: how much MCA debt or MCA-like debt do you have? How much other business debt do you have? Total business debt restructuring that you desire to be completed and taken care of. So all of that is in here, and there's a little bit more details. You can fill that out if there's more or less. Check that out again down below in the description. But like I said, just some pointers here. No minimum FICO score is needed. Again, no collateral is needed. No upfront or out-of-pocket fees. And if anybody does that, be careful. There are companies out there that are shady, and don't simulate yourself with this, especially with like a lot of consolidation loan companies. Be careful. No negative impact to your personal or business credit in many scenarios, like I mentioned, and on the business there. And yeah, that's just pretty much it. And then this page will also go over what the debt restructuring is and lowering your payments and how expensive that is. So restructuring or settling. So I speak about that on this page. You are eligible if you have at least a minimum of $30,000, as I mentioned, MCA-like debt, and no new loan. It's not a new loan. You have to work first, in many cases, to restructure to get a new loan. I've spoken with a few people recently that finally got it after like the second, third time, and I was very, very, very clear. Very nice. I'm never pressuring with anybody. Like if you forget or you just didn't remember, that's okay. I'm more than happy to help and say it over and over, but like sometimes it goes beyond that. But it's not a new loan yet until you go get a new loan. So it's restructuring the payments, getting you a better threshold, a handle on it, so you can have more cash flow, help your profitability, help where your profits, your cash flow goes into your business. You need more inventory control. You need to get more contracts under control. You have payments you're trying to receive, but you need to bridge those cash flow gaps for equipment. It could be for a lot of different reasons, but you're opening up available cash flow on top of what you're getting from revenue and then a lot of other places. So it's helping you still in the short and long run. So you're constantly building it up, and it can build up month after month with this debt restructuring. And that's why it's an amazing way to go. Even if it doesn't build up like that, it's more constant, it's more stable. Instead of right now where you're depleted in a lot of your payments, you can't circulate this to other places. It's like it's all going to debt. Instead, restructure your debt. And so, again, quick and easy application process. As mentioned, you get a customized offer, term sheet, closing call within 24 hours most of the time. And I just cover a bit more details here. Fast response time, you're getting the best. And want to see a text version. So if you click that, if it's still available, so you can check that out and you can have it on paper and then go through this and review it and what would be asked for. So documents, I already went over that a little bit here earlier, but locating your MCA contracts and how to do it, not just don't want to call them. Don't do it that way. This will explain what you should do and why you should do it that way. And what else will be asked for, like business bank statements, copy of the front and back of your driver's license, and so forth. So just remember this too, that over 90% of these files do get approved. And so I'm not saying there's a guarantee to getting this specific number or this and that, but 90% of these files do get approved. And that's a good sign. And so when you ask, is there a guarantee? Is there a guarantee you'll breathe in another millisecond? Is there another guarantee that you'll breathe in another second, another minute, another hour? In terms of like, we're not guaranteed another day. And I wanted to illustrate the gravity of that. And that's what I meant by that. That is like, are we guaranteed another day? Are we guaranteed to have another breath? Are we guaranteed to be with our loved ones? We're not always guaranteed that. So make the most of what you can now and take care of what you can now so you don't have to follow yourself into a bankruptcy. And what I see a lot of the times when it comes to making the decision, it's simple yes or no. When you start getting yourself into a maybe, at a point or even at the contract stages, you're overthinking it. And what I come across a lot of, and remember, I built businesses, is it's not always this. Okay, character is one thing, yes, that gets in the way, but it could be business IQ. That's another thing. And I'm not saying you don't have that. I'm just saying I've come across people who make rash, bad decisions. They didn't make the right one when the right one was staring them in the face. And I'm doing what's in your best interest, not mine. For earning, no, I'm doing what's in your best interest. People first. That's what I care. Your business. And it can come down to a business IQ, low, medium, high, and not making the right call, understanding how helpful this is. And when I ask people, what's your plan B? Do you have a plan B? Will you be responsive if I were to ask of it at that time? Those are the things you need to think about. And a lot of people don't have a plan B. Or if they do, it's not. If I looked at it and they shared with me numbers, well, I would have relocated this year. And sometimes you have to scale down. Even though you don't like that answer, it's good for business. When you have to scale down at that point to have more later on, yeah. You have to make that decision at times. You have to cut a revenue stream that wasn't producing for you enough. Got to let it go for the meantime. Come back. Doesn't mean you always have to scale down, but you have to make the right decision. And what it comes down to is characteristic traits, business IQ. And or the two, one or the other, but that's what tends to happen. In the debt restructuring, I could do everything. I could be the best type of person in my own life, characteristics. I've worked on myself, been in business for a while, understand the decisions I need to make, the right ones. But it's up to you at that point to understand that. And it's your business, I get it. But a lot of these, in these contracts, they're the very best for what you're given. And if you're from a pool of debt restructuring companies and places, you got the best one, that's even better there. And that's what you need to think about is, am I getting myself in the way of making the right decision? How about I reach out to Michael or reach out to maybe the specialist or maybe reach out to this other person? We're all in communication too. We understand the contracts. We understand the parts of the process. And I have a few questions. Yeah, feel free to ask. Better than somebody who is ignorant and is arrogant and is stubborn, egotistical, and they're going to make the wrong decision. And we have this thing where there are these MCA cereal, not like the type of cereal you eat, but you know which one, stackers. And why it's referenced in that way is because you take too many MCAs when you shouldn't, or you thought it would help, but it wasn't enough. You weren't using it for the right reasons, or you were to double, triple, quadruple your revenue or profits and all this other stuff, but it didn't last long enough. So there's always a persona and a characteristic when it comes to those who have a lot of MCAs. And so that's what we look out for. And again, we want to make sure we're being the most energy and time efficient in all we do. And just know that at the end of the day, the bottom line is that I care for you and your bottom line, your profits, your business, everything. And making sure everything is done correctly by the books, ethically, so you're not being pushed in the wrong direction. So that is all from me. Again, look down below in the description for more information on the MCA debt restructuring. And don't lose out on this. Just imagine if you couldn't continue with it, your business facing bankruptcy or default, missing more payments, your reputation, maybe you wanted to give the business to somebody, they won't look at you the same. You got to start all over again now with that reputation that you've defaulted or you didn't take care of what you needed to take care of back then. You're sitting on your couch wondering, oh, I regretted that decision. I should have done it when I had the chance. Now it's too late. Or I find myself having to repeat the process again. I didn't get the right time to get in this time as I did before. You're looking for something that doesn't exist. You're just flipping on the television, not even wanting to watch TV, but just trying to fulfill your mind, the endorphins, the dopamine. And you know you don't want to do that, but you're trying to take your mind away from everything until to wake up again the next morning, already all groggy. You know what's coming. That's not a good way to go on in your life and in business. So again, all of that is down below in the description and more information, if you found value from this video, I'd greatly appreciate you giving it a thumbs up and then sharing it with others who you feel will find value from it. Not that you need to share it, but that would be great. And if you have not subscribed, I'd greatly appreciate you subscribing and clicking the bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content I'll be coming out with. That is all for now. Take care.